Hey, good day to you. Happy Monday. I'm Matt with So Cincy. We are live / you're listening to this on podcast form / we're on YouTube. And we're going to be in Exodus 20 today. I hope y'all had a great weekend. How was it? If you're new here, welcome. If you're reoccurring, welcome back. And if you like the video later on, if you like what you hear, if you like what you see, leave a like, leave some comments, give us some feedback. If you're listening to this on Spotify, there is a question of the day. There's a quite like I can ask a question and you can leave a comment, which is pretty cool. If you're here on YouTube, you can just write on the comment section. Just leave a comment. But we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. to do a Bible study on something. And so today we're going over catechism questions. These are questions. I should probably have like a better way to be able to say what the catechism is, like a solid, good definition of what it is. But it is just a question about God that people could ask, like who is God? What does he require? What must we do? How do we get salvation? And it gives like a simple, brief answer, and then it points you to where to go in the scripture to find that answer. And so that's what the catechism does. And so we're on, and then what I use is the New City Catechism, which is a great free resource. There's there you can buy their book, which I believe is like $5, something like that. Pretty inexpensive. You get them great stocking stuffers, or you can get the app. App's free. You can just download it, and then it'll give you. And then it has like Bible verses as commentaries and points everything to all about that question, the answer, and of course the Bible verse that's related to it. So today's question is, what is the law of God stated in the 10 Commandments? And so we're going to be in Exodus 20. And Exodus 20, 1 through 17 reads, I'll be coming from the New Living Translation. It says, I am the Lord your God, who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other God but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind or an image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even children in the 3rd and 4th generations of those who reject me. But I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commands. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name. Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work. But the 7th day is a Sabbath day of rest dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes you, your sons, and your daughters, your male and female servants, your livestock, and any foreigners living among you. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything in them, but on the 7th day he rested. That is why the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as holy. Honor your father and mother, then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's house. You must not covet your neighbor's wife, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. So those are the 10 commandments that are what was given by God, I believe, to Moses, to then the people. And I remember in the movie, which one was it? It was some comedy. They made fun of it and mocked it. And he was portrayed as Moses, come down with like 3 stone tablets. He's like, here's your 15. And then one drops and breaks. And he's like, 10 commandments. I can't remember what movie that was. Was that a Monty Python movie? I can't remember. If you're watching this and you've seen that movie, let me know in the chat. But anyways, so as we do Bible study, we always ask the question, what does it say about God, about Jesus, about his plan? And so more specifically, what does it say about God and his plan? And so God had these 10 rules of life to make the people of Israel a blessed people, a fulfilled people, a wholesome and worship people who worship God, and rules to let these people have a long and lasting life. And it's real simple, just 10 rules. 10 rules is all they needed. And we start out with number 1. Must not have any other God but me. Number 1 is a good one. Like, it would not make sense if this rule was number 2. Like, we're gonna make myself number 1. I'm the Lord your God. No one else before me. So that'll be good number 1. And number 2 is like it. Must not make for yourself an idol of any kind or an image of anything in the heavens or on earth or on the sea. And so I was doing Bible study yesterday. Oh, what book was I in? Oh, goodness gracious. It might have been Exodus. Oh, that's in that book. Okay. There's a passage. It's, I rescued you out of whatever. I didn't want to what is that? But God's talking to Isaiah 48. I relate it back. I kind of relate it to this one. And so where I'm going with this is that it says, you must not make for yourself an idol or any kind of image or anything in the heavens or in the sea. And the commentary I was reading was the idea that the created image of God demeans the creator of God. Like, as good as your intentions are, like, you will insult who God is by having this crappy created image. And I was talking with Kristen this weekend, and we were talking about doing things for God's glory. And so there was a church somewhere, and for their Christmas play, they have these steel beams that they installed, or maybe they've had them installed. But then they're running like zip lines with drummers, and the drummers are flying all over the sanctuary and drumming all this stuff, and it's really, really cool. But I'm like, but there was something in me that I'm like that's cool, but it's like, you want to be cautious with something like that. And so what she said, because she's a smart cookie, I love her. What she said was like when they built the temple for God, it was the most beautiful, most elaborate, like the gold, the opal, the emeralds, the gems, the diamonds, the special wood that they used to build the temple. And it was expensive. And they used it because they wanted to do excellent. Good morning, Mom Sue. They wanted it to be excellent. But even still, all that beauty, it's still crap compared to what the glory of God is. And so in Isaiah 48:11, dang it, what is this? I don't know what that is. There we go. In Isaiah 48:11, unrelated, but sort of related, I will rescue for my sake. Yes, for my own sake. I will not let my reputation be tarnished, and I will not share my glory with idols. Listen to me, O family of Jacob, Israel, my chosen one. I alone am God, the first and the last. And so this idea around you must not have any other God but me is a huge one. As important as, or I'm sorry, not make yourself an idol. And making yourself an idol is as important as you must not have any other God but me. Rule number 3. I think that's the same one. Must not bow down to them. Where is it? Here we go. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. Now, what does that mean to misuse? I had to look this up. Taking Yahweh's name in vain. Yahweh was the name of God. Yahweh. Is that how you spell it? Yeah. But they spelled it in, like, when you look at it spelled out in the Hebrew language, it's like just YHWH. But misuse the name of the Lord God. So it means do not use the name of God emptily, carelessly, profanely, for no purpose, or in a common way. The Israelites were to show respect for the person of God by the use of his name. So don't curse people using God's name. Don't say God is a fool. All those kinds of things. Do not misuse God's name. And remember, this is Old Testament. This is Old Testament. We should do these things. We're not. I'm not going to touch that. I don't know what to say exactly because I'll get people upset. Like, what do you mean we got to get rid of the 10 Commandments? Just know that Jesus came to fulfill the law, and we do these things not for salvation. We do these things out of obedience and love for God. I'll put it that way. Number 4, remember to observe the Sabbath day. This is the hardest one. Again, it's not that it's required, but it's a way to live a blessed life under Christ and to work for 6 days, do everything for 6 days. And on the 7th day, rest, relax, enjoy life. And there's lots of different ways that you can rest and relax and enjoy life. And so I might have shared this before. I don't remember, but I'll share it again. I was talking with this local minister here in Cincinnati, and he asked me, he's like, Matt, what do you do to Sabbath? What do you do to rest? Or what do you do for recreation? And I said, I'll do I don't really do anything. And he's like, you seem like the kind of guy who, when you do something, you need to do it for recreation. And really what that means is recreate. And he was absolutely right, which is weird because he doesn't know me that well. But he was absolutely right in the sense that, like, when I get to do something, when I'm creating something, when I'm working with my hands, Whether it's making a video like this, whether it's editing video, whether it's I do some woodwork. It's not great. Making tables, revamping. What do you call it? Nightstands and things like that. Where I'm sawing, I'm sweating, and I'm sanding, and I'm painting, and I'm polishing, and all this stuff. Like, it's hard work, but it gives me so much life. Like, I enjoy doing it. I really do. I enjoy doing it because it gives me something. So, if you're looking for one way, maybe you're like me. Does creating something, does it fill you up? Does it give you joy? And doing that in remembrance of God, so that will be something that will bless you, and that you can do that. So like if it was just like relax sitting around watching Netflix, like that's not me. Like it doesn't give me joy. I see it as more of a distraction and things like that. So there you go. Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. Now, the reason why I'm going through these, when I taught these to the kids, it was hard to remember what comes first. So we like shorthanded it. So I'd say like, who's number one? God's number one. And I'd say something like, is there a number two? And they'd all say, no. And so those were like two ways to remember the first one. So number one was God is number one. Number two is no other gods before me. Right? Does it make sense? Number three, what was number three again? Three was not using God's name in vain. Yeah. Not using God's name in vain. And we did 4, the Sabbath day, 4 as snore. So 4 snore. That's a great way to remember it. 5, as we go on, honor your father and mother. Wrong button. There we go. Honor your father and mother, then you will live a long, full life in land your God is giving you. And we stopped. We stopped at 5. We couldn't do number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I couldn't think of. I wasn't creative enough to think of something else. But we stopped at 5, 1 through 5. If they got 1 through 5, we were good. I think we just said like, don't kill, don't cheat, don't steal, something like that. And then don't lie, number 9, and don't be jealous. For number 10, must not covet your neighbor's house or their things, your neighbor's wife, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. And so, again, the question was, what is the law of God stated in the 10 commands? And for them to have to memorize this, because what it does is you can put on, like with the New City Catechism, you can put on kids mode, children's mode, and there's like a shortened version of the answer. But this one's still pretty long. So you shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony. You shall not covet. And so the last thing about his plan is that the way it's set up is that there are four rules, 4 commandments that are vertical, all related to God. And then the last 6 are based off of human interaction. But really, number 4, the 4th one, remembering the Sabbath, it's God-centered, but it's also for you as well, because God's saying like, hey, you work. You need like rest, like chill, relax, set that day apart, and honor me. So it's both in there. So the first 4, up and down. The last 6, horizontal. So relationship with God, relationship with others. What can you be doing well? What are you doing well based off this? I've gotten out of it, but my Sabbath practice has gotten a little bit better. I've been trying my best to make, for me, Friday nights, 6 o'clock, kind of try to shut things down and watch movies with the kids. Have I been perfect at it? Absolutely not. Did I do it this past week? Absolutely not. Where was it this past week? I don't remember. It's not important. But this past week, I couldn't do it. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I could do it. This week, it's planned. Like, it's written in my calendar. I'm shutting things down. So I'll let you know on Friday how I do. Well, not Friday, next Monday. I'll let you know next Monday how you do. And so my question to you, how can you rest this week? John Mark Comer says, can you rest 1 hour a day? Can you rest 1 day a week? Can you rest 1 week a year? So can you try to rest 1 hour sometime in a day to just chill, relax, like set that hour apart and just say, God, like, I want to read your word for an hour. I want to worship. I'm going to put on worship music. I'm going to lay back. I'm going to relax for an hour and just chill and set that day to you. I'm going to watch a terrible Christian movie for an hour and in worship to you. Maybe some people like the Christian movies. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I'm going to watch The Chosen. I don't know. Chosen's pretty cool. I've only seen 4 episodes, but what I've seen, it's pretty compelling. So it's pretty cool. So what can you do? Try to rest. What can you do to honor God? What do you need to work on? Are there idols that you need to look at and say, like, yeah, this thing, I'm putting it above God, and I need to reevaluate that in my life so that I'm not putting something insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Something I want this to be about God. And so can you remove that idol from your life, the thing that you worship, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally? Can you remove that thing? Can I remove that? Like this last week, like I love video games. Call of Duty, that's my jam. Last week, I think I played one day. Usually, I'll play like every night, couple hours, just to unwind and stuff like that. And I think it was last week. It might have been last week. It might have been 2 weeks ago. But I just didn't play. I was just like, you know what? I don't want to play for a week. I set that for myself. And I didn't get anything else done. Like I didn't replace it with anything. I wasn't like, oh, let me do this to readjust my life and get things better. I'm not gonna do it. And it was relaxing to not do that, surprisingly. So for me, that was what I did. It wasn't I would say it wouldn't be an idol, but it was something that I would do religiously. But I decided, I'm not going to do it. So that was a nice little change of pace. But as we wrap up here, what is from this? Who needs to hear what was discussed? How can you make Exodus 20 and the 10 Commandments? How can you make those relatable to life? And who can you share those with this week? Today, tomorrow, I don't know. But that's the question. That's what makes Bible study, that's what can make your Bible study completely different, is that when you share it with others, the wisdom, the knowledge that you're learning about God and those things, taking those to other people is what can make your Bible study stand out, because other people want to hear about God's goodness. So who can you share God's goodness with this week? If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, as we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. And we will see you on Wednesday for the next edition of the Bible study. We'll see you.